Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. It is the 27th. Let's just do that one more time. It is Tuesday, 27th of February. It is 8:03. But last night we were early. Tonight we're a couple of minutes late. I'll try and make it up on the end so you don't have to worry too much. If you look at the name of this video, you'll realize that we be on the Bacchanal stage. We're going to talk about every time we get an opportunity to. We're going to talk about imagining Trinidad better. And the reason we say it that way is because people tend to think that every other country in the world could be a first world nation except Trinidad and Tobago. We seem to think that we're stuck, that this thing can't fix. And we're here to show you that it really, really, really could. So, let's talk education. Because the truth of the matter is, and we've had conversations about things like education in the past, and the fact of the matter is, the fact of the matter is, nothing of substance has been done to our education since the junior sec experiment collapsed. Now, you may wonder, in a world where we're hearing rumors that police shoot people outside Prime Minister office and all this kind of bacchanal, we only getting, my whole WhatsApp is murder pictures and gunman dead and gunman shooting, and wow, I feel bad for my country, that this is my country. And education is such a critical ingredient in the development of any nation that if you pay it no mind, you get that as a result. So, let us pay it serious mind. Let us talk about an education policy that leaves no child behind. And that's our goal. We want a jobs policy that leaves no citizen behind. We want an education policy that leaves no child behind. We want a home ownership policy that leaves no citizen behind. That's how we want to approach the country. We want to approach the management of Trinidad and Tobago from the people first. Others have said things like that, but their policies don't line up. Their policies don't match. So if you want to make a decision, a determination as to who you're going to give your precious vote to, who you're going to subject the country to for 5 years of management, I strongly suggest that you do so using something called deliberation. Ask questions of all of them, every single person who wants to be a member of parliament, who wants to be a prime minister, who makes up the guts of the party. It's not enough to whine on a stage and wave a flag in front of a renter crowd. It's not enough to have Ravi B and Orange Sky and Machel come and serenade you. That's not enough. We've done those things to death. As I'm here, and it is just after 8 o'clock, I would like to congratulate the new director of PEP Media, Anthony Defool. He was the PRO of the party, and he stepped down to make way for Janice Lemon-Criqui as we put other things in place. And PEP Media is going to be a big thing because communication is important. And Mr. Defool has extensive experience in this business from a position of producing and managing our broadcasts. And I would like to say congratulations, Anthony Defool. Back on the point. You all need music or anything tonight, or we could just get into the thing, because I really want to get into the thing. And I wanna break it down for you, easy to chew and to swallow. You need to understand that every position that you come at when you talk in politics starts here. This is the point that you must use as a filter, as a sounding board, as a place from which to judge what is said to you by any political organization. Old parties, new parties. And I heard the UNC today speak a PEP education policy, and it prompted me to accelerate our plans to start using our videos to educate our people. Somebody sent that message to me today, not knowing that was on our list. We've always been doing this every single night. Part of the video part of the video's purpose is to educate, but now we're going to start dedicating specific videos to specific topics. And tonight we're going to talk of quite possibly the most critical issue to be discussed is education. But I want you to remember this saying, because it's important. Write it down. Approach every political party, approach every politician from this position. Write this down. Approach Kamala from this. Approach Monilal from this. Approach Imbert. Approach Rowley. Approach every minister, every member of parliament. Approach anybody who talks politics to you from this position. This is the rationale behind politics and governance, and it is this. The well-being of the citizenry is the function and purpose of government. I'll say that again, and somebody should type it into the thread. The well-being of the citizenry is the function and purpose of government. So when you talk poverty, that's a function and purpose of government. When you talk jobs, that's a function and purpose of government. When you talk national security, crime, those things are functions and purposes of government. Healthcare, function and purpose of government. Education, function and purpose of government. Cost of living, quality of life, ease of doing business, all of those things are the functions and purposes of government. It is encapsulated in one statement. The word well-being is used deliberately. Because if everybody is being well, the nation is okay. The well-being of the citizenry is the function and purpose of government. When you hear us talk about the rise in domestic violence and mental illness and poverty, and people say, what do you want the government to do? When Keith Rowley said, I can't stop foreign countries from writing advisories, he's right and he's wrong. Because he is right from the point of view that foreign countries will write whatever advisories they want to write. But he is wrong from the point of view that we dictate the impression and the reputation that people get of our country. We, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and how we carry ourselves as a nation determines what people think of Trinidad and Tobago. So if foreign countries are writing advisories to their citizens to avoid Trinidad and Tobago, if it is based on nothing, we could call them out, but right now we can't. Right now we can't, because nobody in our government is doing anything. Nobody in our opposition has done when they were in government or doing anything now. This is a tiny country. We have too much boast and too much bacchanal for something that's supposed to be done by technocrats without fanfare or noise. We celebrate if you put peas, rice, and meat in a pot and it come out as pilau, you could celebrate that. But you know what you was going for at the start. If it come out as ice cream, well, you could be surprised. And the reason for that ridiculous analogy is governments are supposed to know how to run the country. I keep thinking, every time I think I want to step down from this nonsense, I tell myself, step down. Nobody is sent to call you. Nobody is sent to call you, Philip Alexander. They could live without you. If you drop dead tomorrow, God forbid, or if you migrate to go and live in Brazil to play mass in Brazil in Rio Carnival, the country will continue without you. I've had the experience. I got into a terrible vehicular accident in 2008, where I was incapacitated for 6 months. I had to have 4 surgeries. I was literally on my back for most of that 6 months on that couch behind me. That's why I love that couch so much. That's how long I have it. Standard Sports, American stores, and friends don't make money from me, you know. When I buy things, to last and make sure they last me. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is, when I think about my public service, I could do as much as I could do, and then I can't blame the people for what they take from what I say or what they do. Nobody is sent for me. I here doing my part. Likewise, Keith Rowley and Kamala, nobody is sent for them. Nobody has sent for the UNC. Nobody has sent for the PNM. There's been no clarion call to say we need those organizations. Those organizations come and audition for the job. They say we can do the job. What is the job? Ask them the question. What is the job? Because if Kamala is not aware of the job, she should never be hired again. If Keith Rowley is not aware of what the job is, he should be fired. The well-being of the citizenry is the function and purpose of government. Tonight, we're going to talk about education as being the function and purpose of government. Now, there are a lot of people in this country who not good with change. They're not good with change. And let's fight you on change. You see the memes and you hear the jokes. Gary Griffith liked to say, everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. That is his statement. I say, everybody wants to come to the revival, but nobody wants to power the chairs. People don't like change, and that's understandable. But in some things, you have to change. Job one is to identify that the thing is failing. Our education system is failing the teachers, the parents, the students, the society. The handful of people that get gold medal, silver medal, bronze medal, whatever, those people are not enough to impact society. What we need, instead of a few very high achievers and a mass of low achievers, is a properly educated mass of critical thinkers, logical contributors, conscious members of society. We don't even have in our curriculum, and somebody mentioned that today and I shared it, an understanding of how our governance, how our government works, how our governance, our system of governance, what it is. Nobody knows. You talk to people and they're willing to argue with you to the end, you know. They want to cuss you, cuss your mother, cuss your father, because that is where it reaches. When people reach the end of their intelligence, they have to attack you about your person. The saying is ad hominem. Remember when Farris used to use that every step of the ad hominem, until I started calling him Captain ad hominem, and he stopped because he realized he was like an ass. But ad hominem means about the person, and you forget the conversation, you attack me. And that's cool. But it still doesn't help anything. Attacking me don't help you. It doesn't help you at all. Defending the status quo don't help you. It doesn't help you. What helps you is engaging in national conversation that is dedicated to a better Trinidad and Tobago for all of us. That's what helps you. It's not about loving me. Don't love me at all. And the PEP will never be a cult of personality. The more they try to put that on me is the more I leave that alone. I have advisors who tell me, Philip, you're too easy to approach. You need to be aloof. I don't want to be aloof. If I am Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, I want to take as many calls as I could get. I want to get as many texts and WhatsApps. I will have multiples of assistants holding phones. I want to be able to check my own email. I want to maintain my Facebook account. I think that the Prime Minister of the country must be the person that you must most be able to reach. I must be able to message the Prime Minister and say, listen, I am Minister of Education making a message in government here. And he said, even if he doesn't respond, he knows. I mean, you will have to sift through the mess. But it's like the saying, they tell you, if we relax the restrictions to allow Trinidadians to own guns, plenty of people will kill one another. And that's true. In the first 3 to 6 months, all the trigger-happy nincompoops will kill one another. And that may not be a bad thing, because the stupid people should always be the first to go. But after them, after that 6 months, because, and I am not using the show to advocate for gun ownership, I am making a point. But there are statistics to show that in some countries where everybody has guns, nobody plays the ass with guns. Because nobody wants to be shot. It's like mutually assured destruction. And just using that as an example in the minute to tell you and to make that point. But come back to this. If your government does not understand its role and responsibility to all the people in the country will go nowhere. It will go nowhere. I dream of a Trinidad and Tobago where government ministers don't need blue lights to part the crowd. I dream of a Trinidad and Tobago where government ministers don't need chauffeurs and drivers. I dream of they overdo this busyness, you know. I dream of a Trinidad and Tobago where government ministers drive in their own car, turn down the window when they see a girl bounce, I'll hail, I'll right size. All right. How you going? Ministers, members of parliament should be out and about. They should be milling with the people. They should be eating doubles and drinking coconut water and going for snow cone and taking their family to the zoo. This is a postage stamp country. This is what we have. I'm telling you, for 1.3 million people, listen to me. We have a president, a prime minister, 41 members of parliament, a cabinet, a government, an opposition, local government, regional health authorities, police, that system. New York City, that has 8.5 million people, has a governor and a mayor, a commissioner of police. They have 65,000 police answering to one commissioner. We have 5,000 police and our commissioner don't know what the ass going on in the police service. So tell me, let's look at it factually. This country has so much government and nothing works. And New York City has a governor and a mayor. And the garbage is picked up on time. When the World Trade Center fell, they had more telephone extensions in those 2 towers than we had phones in all of Trinidad and Tobago. And I want to put that into ridiculous perspective. So that means one small group of people were responsible for the telecommunications in World Trade Center. More people got off a train underneath World Trade Center on a morning than we move into and out of Port of Spain every single day in mad traffic. And I'm saying all of this so that you understand that this tiny country does not have to be this top-heavy with its government. And I want to send a message to PACT, the new political party. I want you all to check the symbol you all use for your party. Before it become entrenched, change that. Because when people realize that a pyramid is a symbol of power, and you've deliberately inverted the pyramid so that the widest space is at the top and the smallest space is at the bottom, what it is you said? All the power up on top? Check yourself. Coming back to everything else here. You need a country where government ministers, members of parliament could freely mill about with the people. And if we cannot do that, the ministers and the MPs supposed to go to the parliament and hand the prime minister the resignation. I do not want to be in government in a country where I can't walk about on like my own. I can't go downtown. I can't take my family movie town. I can't go for a drive. I can't go for a lime. I'm in danger. Where's your Minister of National Security? Where's your Commissioner of Police? How is this country such a crime-riddled madness? You see, if members of parliament and ministers were stuck in traffic, this is how it would go. Cabinet would be convened. The Prime Minister would be pacing the room. Where's so-and-so? Where's so-and-so? Half of them missing. People coming in one after the other. All you know, 2 o'clock is 2 o'clock. Boss, I in traffic from by Shaguanas. You know a truck get flat and it back up to Gasparilla. We have no system to deal with that. You see, When a minister show up in cabinet and say, before you talk traffic last night, I had to take my child to that hospital. And you see the nastiness I had to put up with in that hospital. I want us to have a conversation. Is our Minister of Health the right person for the job? Because clearly we don't have a proper system. And we come into the education, but all of this is educating. Because you have to understand, in the United States of America, they have a 100-day honeymoon. That the president that deals with 365 million people in the most powerful nation in the world, he gets 100 days. 100 days to move stuff around on the board. That the media is supposed to give him a honeymoon. Make all your mistakes, make all your moves. Nobody can give no pressure. On the 101st day, that new president is the president of the United States of America. He can no longer come to the people and say, it's not my fault, it's Obama. Because they'll fire him one time. They're not hiring you for that shit. If you come in there and you see something not working, you fix that shit. You don't tell us who's responsible for it. We want that. That's how America works. And America's government works people up. In Trinidad, we work top down. And it's wrong. Because we inflict government on the people. We don't govern the people. And maybe that is why nothing works. Because everybody takes everybody else for granted. There is this meme of one bird on the top of the phone line, crapping on 2 birds below him, and crap on 4 birds below him, and crap on 8 birds. That's us, a descending hierarchy of crap. But we could fix that. We could fix that. And I want to tell you something. And I want to tell Trinidad and Tobago. And I want to tell you this. You don't need more old talk. You don't need more bacchanal. You don't need more confusion. You don't even need to be burning tires and threatening and making old noise. You know what you need to do? You need to stand up. You need to educate yourself. And it's simple education. And we give you this for free. You don't have to vote for me to have this knowledge. You know, this knowledge is yours. You should have been given this knowledge 50 years ago. I'm giving it to you now. How government is supposed to work. The well-being of all the people of Trinidad and Tobago is the function and purpose of the government. Let's talk education. A lot of people don't want change. Today I heard the UNC announce something. I saw it on social media. I say, you know what, let it pass. Because they're talking about a vision of a classroom for the future. It says the UNC had a vision of a classroom technology-driven, sounding just like ours, where supervision would be provided for the children and teaching would be centralized. I want to stick a pin because I want to ask all of the ministers of education of the UNC and the leader, Kamala Persad-Bissessar, you spent $25,000 million on education. You spent over $20,000 per child per term. No, more than that. $30,000 per child per term, per year. That's what you spent. You spent $25 billion on education. Where did that money go? If you had a vision for that, because I want to tell you, the Progressive Empowerment Party could do it in 1 year. In 1 year, by the start of the second term, all classrooms automated. Because it's a simple job. And it will put a lot of people to work running cable. But we will make sure that the Ministry of Education has its own intranet, which is like the internet, but it is a control loop-to-loop, end-to-end. And we would broadcast to our teachers and our students. Our vision for education has a teacher responsible for the students and education lessons coming over a big screen. You imagine if the children of Mokorapo, Gasparillo, Providence, Holy Name, St. Joseph, St. Mary's, Tobago Composite, you imagine if every single student in Standard 5 that doing English at this moment today, doing the exact same English class, on the same screen, being taught by the same person, supervised by teachers whose job it is to answer questions that the students ask based on what's going on the screen. So if you do a 45-minute lesson and 15-minute question and answer to wrap up, the children should be walk around with what you just taught them. More importantly, once that lesson is had, is archived. So that means for the parents who are interested in helping their children, they could keep up to date by just going to the archives to see what the child's supposed to know. If you're doing homework supervision, if your child is telling you, I'm having a difficulty with something Miss and them teach us in arithmetic today, you could pull it up with your child on your laptop, on your tablet, on your freaking phone. You could pull up the lesson and listen to what was taught and go through it with the child till the child understands, because that's what knowledge is. School's job is to impart knowledge and the ability to assimilate and deduce. We're not just supposed to cram and regurgitate. We're supposed to learn how thinking works. We're supposed to be given the tools of knowledge with which, because we've been taught how to critically think, how to use logic, we could arrive at different conclusions. You could end up in a better place. Education is supposed to take us forward. Every generation is supposed to be able to think through these problems at a higher level than the generation before. Parents with children who are sick, broken leg, broken arm, leukemia, you can't go to school for some reason. You have the flu season, you have the flu, stay home. But you're staying home, and Channel 4, which is AVM, or the internet, if you have a laptop, broadcasting what every child broadcasting. What every child seeing on the screen, you see it on mommy laptop, daddy computer, or the TV, Channel 4. When it's break time for everybody, including you who hold with the flu. But nobody gets left behind, because none of our children, be they black, brown, red, or green, and any shade in between, no color, class, creed, or race of child is brighter than another. But we live in a country where we've created a prestige school system set aside for the offspring of a few. And then we continue to give those few the benefits and call the rest of these people slackers and failures. You could imagine if the children in Beetham, Laventille, Morvant, Sealot, imagine if they had the same opportunities for education as Goodwood Park, Westmoreland, Valsayn, and Baldies. Imagine that. Imagine this country in 5 years. Imagine it in 5 years. Imagine this country in 5 years when the grades of all of our children all rise. Imagine that. Imagine this country where all of our people, all of their children performing at the same high standard of education. With this model, teachers would be retrained with psychological and counseling tools. They will be trained in child rearing and social management. They will be given tools and skill sets how to help your children deal with the knowledge they just got, so that the teacher would be responsible for the performance of the class. And the teacher would say, when the lesson done, the teacher would ask, anybody is having difficulty with this? Anybody? Raise your hand. We will go through it till you understand it. Because that's how it's supposed to work. That's how it's supposed to work. And the school system in Finland calls for 3 hours of class and the rest interaction. We need to manage our children growing together, teaching them skill sets. So when they come home and daddy slap mommy, the child's supposed to say, Daddy, we learned today something called dispute resolution. Could I share it with you? You imagine. I used to smoke cigarettes. And my son used to pressure my ass. Big man, paying all the bills, used to be hiding outside to smoke. Till I stopped smoking. My son pressured me to stop smoking. He said, you're not just you anymore, you know. You are my father. And I need you around long. Children have that power. More importantly, the youth have sharper brains than we do. Unfortunately, because we don't use all of the neurons in our brain, as we get older, they stop. Certain neurons that we don't use stop firing. But children, babies, as they grow in the first 3 to 5 years, all the neurons in their brains firing, all firing. And what we need to engage in also is left brain, right brain development. We need to make sure that art, music, sport, trade, agriculture, things that are important to a life, because as they get older, children will choose a direction. Teachers are supposed to be able to monitor. If you're writing up a report on the 20th child in your class, there should be a place for you to write, what do you think this child is predisposed to? This child could be a physicist. This child could be a doctor. This child should be a lawyer. This child is a critical thinker. This child is highly athletic. This child is brilliant with his hands. This child is fantastic with any musical instrument. This child should be an artist. And we get to put our children on the right track for their development. Our education system right now is raising fast food cashiers and baton twirlers for security companies. We're not educating, we're certificating. You pass through Form 1, you pass through Form 2, you pass through Form 3, and you reach out Form 4, and you can't speak, and you can't think, and you can't communicate, and you're stuck. Because now life starts to catch up with you. Because the first 10, 15 years of your life, you have the opportunity to break from life and learn. But all of that comes home pretty darn quick when responsibility enters the conversation. And then to try and fix yourself education-wise after it's been wasted. And this is why I tell you that for Trinidad and Tobago to be the country that Trinidad and Tobago needs to be, the first thing we need to fix is our education system. We need to fix our education system so that it respects all our children, all our parents, all our teachers, and the nation as a whole. All parents should, by law, have to be on the Parent Teachers Association. Because our vision for the country is a 10-year school. And each child's progress going through the school is two people's real business. The teacher and the primary caregiver or parent. Those two people have that child's development. That is their critical interest. That's why we're at school. We're at school for a certain level of development. And the teacher is supposed to say in the meeting that all of the other children have developed to a certain level. Your child is lagging for these reasons. And I would like to strongly recommend that you have these issues addressed, or that you see how you could augment and help your child go forward with this. Because you want term 2, the gap didn't get wider. You're closing the gap. By term 3, child bunching with the cows. By the next term, in the first term in the next year, your child could be out in front. That should be the goal. You should say, your GPA is 3.4, the national GPA is 4.4, and I want you at 4.0. Let's get you to 4.0. You can imagine that child face when he or her come home and the GPA is 4.2. Jesus Christ. For the parent, for the family, for the child, for the school, for the teacher, for the nation. Every time you educate a child, you close a prison cell. Every time you educate a child, a criminal enterprise goes out of business. This country needs to get to a place where we respect all of our people. And listen, this concept of what and who could do what and not do what, stop that. I am tired of having arguments to prove that race is not an indicator of knowledge. So stop it. Let us agree, even if we chafe at it, agree. Unfortunately, you live in a multi-ethnic, plural society. Get over your blasted self. If you are too racist to integrate, pack your shit and leave. We don't need you. We don't need you. If you cannot seamlessly integrate, all of us, one people under one flag, pack and go. Find your tribe. The Trinidad tribe is a rainbow. In this country, we celebrate every religion. Bring your tradition and come. We will respect it. That should be the underpinning of this country. We say it, but we should feel it. I see you for who you are, and I respect you for who you are. I respect your right to believe what you believe. I respect your choices. I know that my right to swing my fist stops at your right to not be hit in the face. I understand the concept of personal space. We need, as a people, to get there. We need to be having these conversations. All of our people, if you want to be in politics, and you're coming into politics to get rich or richer, in the wrong place. Like media, like teaching, like nursing, politics is a sacred profession. Politics means of the people's business. It don't get more sacred than that. We've been taught, don't discuss politics and religion. What we're supposed to be taught is how to discuss politics and religion respectfully. Because if we learn how to agree to disagree, or to disagree without becoming disagreeable, then we could discuss anything. And there is only benefits down that road. We, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, have to decide now where we go as a nation. Our news and our national discussions cannot be dominated with Movelang, scandal, bacchanal, and all talk. An education policy that leaves no child behind slowly reduces the cost of the Ministry of National Security, slowly reduces the workload on police and the need for strenuous law enforcement. Educating the children, giving them hope and opportunity and the opportunity to maximize their potential shuts the prison system down. This is where the rubber meets the road. Because you could lock up and lock down till the cows come home. If we're still creating criminals, you will never solve the problem. But if we stop and respect each other and build a country based on nobody left behind, if we could adopt as our national overarching philosophy, as long as one of us hungry, nobody can be happy. So that we go back to compassion and consideration and care. even for the homeless, even for the people who make the worst choices. I understand these are the consequences of your bad choices, but as thinking, feeling people, we still have to reach out to you. You see, there are more of us than there are haters and detractors. But for some reason, bad news sells. For some reason, bad news gets carried faster than good news. But there are more people outside there doing good every minute of every day than there are bad people. For the 2 that get shot today, 1.3 million didn't. Look at it from that perspective. For the 20 that fly down the shoulder, 1,000 stayed in the line. And when you start to look at the country from that perspective, you'll realize that all of this negativity, all of this hate, all of this strife is supposed to be self-perpetuating and distracting, because the oligarchies that run this country, and I know that's a big word, but I'm telling you, I know them, I've grown up with them, I've socialized with them, and I know how they think. And their whole life is ego. These are people who are driven by such mad insecurity that their entire life is on a treadmill till they die. These are people that can't stop working, can't stop making, can't stop dealing, can't stop hoarding. And they will do anything to get more. Because they need to dress, drive, and do things for the crowd to get them some adulation, to make up for the massive insecurity that they have. And it is for that reason and that purpose. Those people want to buy me this and buy me that. I have friends and family want to buy the latest. I don't want it. Don't give it to me. I won't use it. I won't go out and buy myself jewelry. My phone now tells me the time, so I won't buy a watch. I was in a jewelry store today looking around because I like how a watch looks. But I need to make a point. And I need to live that point. So if you ever see me with a watch, it's a $50 Casio. They still make that. Timex. My ego, my possessions will never drive me. I am already at the point where I want to just share. I love the idea. $1 beyond need is greed. I love the fact that when you have more than you will ever need, don't build taller walls, build longer tables. I like that. I like the concept of all the people of Trinidad and Tobago as one national tribe. I love that people could talk to me anywhere they see me. I love that. I don't ever want to give that up, and I don't want us to lose that, because that is what is essentially our country. Our country is good people. That's who we are. So we have to decide. Do we save that? Because this is not just oil and gas. This is not just profit and loss. This is people. Our people need to get back to happy. Our people need to get back to comfortable. Your job or jobs mustn't take up your whole life. You must work to have. Exchange labor to pay your bills. What's up with the echo, Philip? I don't know. I didn't know it was echoing. And I apologize for that. Maybe I'm talking too loud. I even shared the video. I forget to tell you how to share the video. We are just launch off into the thing, so we'll share it after. PEP Canada. I want to say, all the overseas chapters working hard, but the Canadian peppers, all they're working hard, right? The Canadian peppers are having a dinner and dance on Saturday, 12th of May, 2018. For tickets, contact Colin, Donna, Anthony, or Anil, and I guess they will put the information on the thread. I will share it on my wall. Anil, Marissa, Naz, one of you all, please put it on my wall. And this is the surprise, because I will be at that dinner and dance, as well as I'm trying, well, I know the chairman, Felicia Holder, will be as well, and maybe a couple others, deputy political leaders, co-chairs. Maybe we'll take the team up to come and meet the Toronto Peppers. So help them sell out as fast as possible. I think it's going to be a very nice event. The PEP Canada dinner and dance. Good job, guys and girls. Well done. Keep it up. Florida, New York. Let's do it. Let's do our same time. Let's see. Let's see if we could get everybody together in all, and we make a round robin. Yeah? But coming back to this conversation, and I apologize this now for forgetting to say this, for forgetting to tell you to share the video and all that stuff, because we're supposed to share it. I want us as a party, the Progressive Empowerment Party, I want our legacy to be that we change this country by educating, informing, and empowering the citizens. I want a Trinidad and Tobago that don't need Bacchanal and Old Noise to get their point across. I want us to be one people under one flag. I want us to break the fake division, that fraudulent racism that is only expressed by the political parties fronting that oligarchy that just want you enslaved and stupid. Stop it. The best way to fight the 1% is to educate yourself. The best way to fight the 1% is spend your money better, spend it wiser. Take a loan, buy land, grow something, sell it, involve your children, involve your family, get 5 friends together and form a company. Make pepper sauce. Trinidad and Tobago is pregnant with opportunity. You could do anything you wanted. You just had to want to. Stop being a limon fetid drinking nation only. Let us be a nation where all of our people are interested in being the best that they could be. Let us be a nation that reaches out for each other. Let us be that rising tide that lifts all boats. Let us be the people who excitedly say, I found somebody in need and I help them. Let us be the people that overtake each other trying to give. Let us be the people that don't need to stunt. I see plenty of people tell me nice shirt tonight, thank you very much. But this is my conservative, simple style. I'm not no flash guy. And if ever you see me flashy, check and see if it's really me. Might be a counterfeit. The truth of the matter is, we frustrated ourselves, wasted a large part of our lives chasing imaginations and ghosts. None of that is real. You know what is real? Your family. That is real. And whatever it takes to fix whatever is wrong in your family, do that. Do that. Do it over and over till it fixes. Tear down fences and build bridges. Your family is important. Your friends, that is important. Your neighborhood, that is important. Your community, that's important. Your constituency, that's important. National service. Everybody have to run for Prime Minister. You could be involved in national service, organizing your neighborhood, and just organizing to make sure that everybody in your community happy. That nobody going to bed hungry. Share numbers. Let everybody know. In case of a crisis, call me. Because there will come a time when I will need you. That is the social contract that we need. Let us work together to build a country that when they share on social media the best place to live in the world, they keep saying Trinidad and Tobago, paradise on earth, paradise on earth. Beautiful weather, beautiful people, beautiful nation. Come now, man. Come now, man. Imagine with me now. Imagine that country. Put aside. You see me? They say when you forgive a sin, you must separate it as far as east is from west. That's how I treat with people in the PNM and the UNC. You know, I feel sorry for us as a nation that became all that we had. That our choices always at election time was just that. It looks like something big, but they're not. They're tiny little organizations, you know. They just con a lot of people well and get a lot of people to wear their jersey. They go, 300,000 people is UNC. It's not. It's not. It's a handful of people who own that party. The rest of y'all just following. The rest of y'all are facilitators and accomplices. And y'all need to decide where you're doing with that.
When you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the proven to be only full amount. When you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out.
Somebody just posted, Teresa Surratt just posted that Lent is the time for giving, and that is true. There is this little girl that is trying to raise $400,000. She needs health care. She needs medical intervention. We cannot help with $400,000, but we can help in some way. And I'm asking the family to get in touch with Felicia Holder, the PEP, because I want us to try and raise some money for you all. However we could, whatever we could get, we will raise for you all to help with that child. And anybody else in need, reach out to us, because between PEP and the Jericho Project, we're connected to a lot of very generous and caring people. So if you have any contact with this little girl, I think her name is Halima, if you have any contact with their family, please. You all watched the video when Christine Sanka gave the puppy to Alyssa. That video is on my wall. I watched that video so many times, watching that little girl's face. And the puppy's so happy, but that little girl's face when she realized that she got her puppy. And her mom said that's all she wanted a puppy. I think she named the dog Bella Peach. I loved watching that video. And I want us to do more of those things. Let us do more of those things. I understand that there is a bridge in Brazil, La Alqueta Talparo, that has been the source of contention between two political parties. I would like to meet with the leaders of that community where that bridge is. I want to find out what you all need. How do we get the bridge fixed? Because if the government can't fix it, let's see if we, the people, could fix it.
If it is the time is now that change come about, just as how you vote them in, vote them out, register and vote them out. If they don't see, vote them out. State your finger and vote them out. Show them no mercy, vote them out. Vote them out with total scorn and utter disdain. Let's put our country together again. Vote them out of power.
Terminate the reign.
Let's put our country together again.
This Saturday at noon, 19 Stanmore Avenue, the Progressive Empowerment Party family gathers together again. And as usual, the invitation is extended to all of Trinidad and Tobago to come and sit with us, come and speak with us, come and share with us. We have doubles and cake and people bringing different things. You could bring if you want and share. Last week, somebody bring a massive bag of Palori. We demolished that. But come and experience political exchange as it was meant to be. Come and experience the imparting of knowledge, the sharing of knowledge. Come and be part of the debate. We discuss things, we discuss policy, we discuss plans and programs. We work together and then we play together. If you have the time Saturday at noon, come. Today we had a meeting in Westmall. Myself, the chairman of the party, Felicia Holder, and the new PEP director, PEP Media Director, Anthony Defoe, and so many people came up. Two young ladies from, I'm trying to remember where you all said we were from, El Dorado, the Samaroos, a couple other people, another guy who came and said he's doing like me, he want to be Prime Minister. A lot of people just keep coming up and shaking hands and meeting people and saying thanks for what you're doing, keep up what you're doing. The PEP message is getting out. Yes, we're not in every nook and cranny yet. Yes, we're not in every corner. We're not like these new parties that form in with Worcester money. Because when you make deals with financiers, those deals have to be repaid. Where you think it's being repaid with? It's the same thing that you say you're fighting, you come in and do it. We don't have no time with that. Your job, if you spent time tonight on this video, you have a responsibility to share this video 100 times. You have a responsibility to take the knowledge of this video that you learned here tonight and claim it as your own. Share it in sound bites, what education does for the country. Post as your status. The well-being of the citizens is the function and purpose of government. If we get 10,000 people posting that, we'll send a message. Social media is powerful. Social media changes things. Use social media for good. Get everybody. You post that as your status and tell everybody in your family, all your friends, to repost it. Copy and paste this. Share it. That the well-being of the citizens is the function and purpose of government. That is a critical piece of information. We need everybody batting in that crease. We need everybody approaching the political conversation from that point of view. This Saturday at noon, we would love, every Saturday we welcome the newcomers. Come out. Come out. Trust me when I tell you, you're welcome. The moment you decided that you're coming, you're already welcome. We're expecting you. This party is your party. Come and be a part of your party. Come and claim ownership. Come and get involved. Come and say, this is what I bring to the table. And whatever it is more than enough. We are a people's party, the Progressive Empowerment Party. Our job is to inform, educate, and empower, and to offer a real alternative to government with plans, programs, policies, and ideas that, like a rising tide, lifts all boats. The concept of that seems to be lost on others. But if we lift the lowest classes, as the masses, they spend up. They build the middle class. They build the middle class. It is the lowest classes that build the middle class. We need to do that again. We need to make sure that everybody in this country has the same chances, hope and opportunity. 347-4PEP. That's the hotline. 347-4PEP. peptrinbago@gmail.com as the primary email address, although that is going to change just now to a web-centric address. Our website, peptt.com, our app, PEP app, PEP, APP, available on all the app stores, free of charge. Look, in closing, and I just want to say this again, this is not a fight down. This is not that. You don't need another Bacchanalist party. We don't want to know what Shamfa doing or what Romper Man doing. We make with jokes. Last time somebody shared a picture. I still laughing because I got it so many times so quick of Keith Rowley's face on the Black Panther body, and they had a panty on his head and they call him Black Panty. And Trinidadians so ridiculous, or they're so stupid and funny. But we need to not take everything as a joke, though. We need to make some things very, very serious. We need to take this country very, very serious. We could fix it. It could fix. You could grow old in paradise on earth. Your children could grow and play in a safe environment, that they have every opportunity that they could become. We've created the best of the best in every field of endeavor, and we have more to create. Let's give all of our children, all of them, the chances. Yeah? So, there should be a show tomorrow night, although there is a meeting of the campaign team. Anybody who's part of the La Horquetta Talparo campaign team, there is a meeting at 5:30 tomorrow. Don't forget, mark your calendar. To all of Trinidad and Tobago, we invite you to join us this Saturday at noon at 19 Stanmore Avenue. But we want you to mark your calendar for next week Saturday, March 10th, in Brazil, La Horquetta Talparo. I think it's Oakland Recreation Bar. You could find it on my thread. Felicia, any of the members, and any of you all, Anthony Maraj, Dave, any of you, find the flyer and pepper this live with it so people could take it. Repost that too. Share that all over social media. Let us work together to build a Trinidad and Tobago. And until I see you tomorrow, stay safe, Trinidad and Tobago.